What's happening, everyone? Davey Deathray here. What the heck is going on with the camera, everybody? I have no idea what's up with this. Holy cow. I don't know why it's cutting me off. What's happening? There we go. Is that a little bit better? I guess it's just tilted a little bit. All right. I have to close the friggin' computer because Duncan likes laying on it because it's warm. Duncan the cat, don't you know? Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me yet again. It's another late night random. I thought it would be fun if we did some horror hot takes tonight. That could be a damn good time. So if you have any horror hot takes, I've got some lined up just in case you guys don't have any. But of course we can, you know, these hangouts are pretty much for you guys. So really, whichever way you want to take the discussion and the conversation, we can certainly go that way. I just figure I should at least at the very beginning of the stream kind of point us in some sort of direction, and then we can go from there. So let me just say what's up to everybody, and then we will get cruising on the stream here. We got Chester Franklin Jr. in the house. What's happening, Chester? So good to see you. We got Gory Tiger. What's happening, Gory? King Matthew III, not able to join the stream because he's on the night shift, but thank you so much for jumping in and saying what's up, King Matthew. Really appreciate you, bud. We got Jack Wagons driving in the chat. What's happening, Jack Wagons? How you doing? And we got Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. How you digging that channel membership gift from last night, Antonis? Are you digging it? There you go. I'm hoping somebody brings up Exorcist 4 and Phantasm 4. Well, I mean, the cool thing is you could join, or you could join in the conversation and give your own hot take there. I think this is the channel I found last week, but whatever, I'll still hang out. This should be fun. Yeah, I think just last night, Jack Wagons, unless you were hanging out last week and we just happened to miss you. I'm not sure. Let's see here. What happened to the guy in the live chats that used to tell us how many likes you had? You know, I don't know, Antonis. Some people come, some people go. My full disclosure here, I think we've got somebody that likes to come in and give one of our mods a hard time, and I've seen them pop up on other people's channels as well. And so sometimes I think that person acts like a very nice person for a while. I'm not saying this about this. I can't remember the screen name of the person you're talking about in particular, Antonis, but I've noticed that that's been a running theme. About a year ago, we were having a really tough time with somebody that was using all sorts of different accounts and being, I don't know. I don't know. I guess there's no point in calling them anything. I feel bad because we're really nice people. And if you're just nice and you hang out, then you'll probably make some friends. But if something's not right in your head and you'd rather cause problems, then I guess you're not going to be hanging out here too long. So that might have been what happened. But yeah, I noticed some people are here for a while and then we don't see them for a while, you know? And I hope we get some of them back. It would be great. KCX94 says, make sure to bounce on that like button, guys. Bounce attack. Bounce attack. There we go. Let's see where we're at with the likes. We've got 20 people hanging out. You guys are amazing. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Looks like we're sitting at 12 likes, so let's get that number up. It sure does help drive the live stream and points more people in our direction as they hop on YouTube at about 12:30 Eastern to look for something to check out. And maybe this is how they find our channel for the very first time and find our amazing community for the very first time. Jack Wagon Drive-In says, should there be new content from the Phantasm universe? And if so, how do you think it should proceed? I feel like Phantasm's gone on for so long that we're probably due for a total reset at this point. Because what, Coscarelli, they did like 6 of those movies or something, right? They do 5 or 6. I think 6 of them. I mean, I think at this point, because it's so... It's like a part of the fandom that's relatively small compared to a lot of other things, that I think we might as well just sort of reboot Phantasm right now, for sure. Let's see. Hot take. Yeah, it's like or like an opinion that you think, like an opinion that you have that you know is very much different than most people's opinion. Yeah. So Chester's got one hot take. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning is the worst. Okay. Yeah. I would have said that was a hot take, or it wasn't a hot take maybe 15 or 20 years ago, but I think now most people talk about, Jason Goes to Hell or Jason X as the worst in the franchise, or Jason Takes Manhattan. And I have noticed that Part 5, almost similarly to like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, Chester, it seems like Halloween 5's gotten some more love over the last 15 to 20 years, for sure. And I know a lot of people say it's the best one in the franchise, not just the cast members. I know the cast members are going to say that. Why wouldn't they? And I think Part 5 is really fun. I wish we could get an uncut version of it as far as the gore goes. It's plenty uncut as far as the nudity goes and the sex and all that kind of stuff. But, to see something where we actually see the impact, I think a lot of the kills are almost like cut for television. It's kind of odd that way. Let's see here. We got Jack Wagon says, I have a hot take on the Howling. I think Howling 3 is the best. I think I've only seen the very first one. I've seen reviews for the second one because that one is like kind of so corny that it's fun. But Howling 3, I don't know. Is that the one that's called like Marsupials, or is that Howling 4? I don't know. Let me know, Jack Wagons. Ooh, hotter take, says Daz, is A New Beginning is better than the original. I think a lot of people are moving towards that, Daz. I still think it's a hot take. I don't think the original's the best in the franchise, but I will say this, guys. The more and more I revisit that original Friday the 13th, the more I do really, really enjoy it. There's something about it, something about the giallo kind of feel. We sort of mentioned that last night, but also just the atmosphere of it all, the whole summer camp aspect of, the original Friday the 13th, I really enjoy. Also, I wish they actually made it a true whodunit and had Pamela in the movie more than just when it's time for the reveal. But I do enjoy that one. I think I like it better than A New Beginning. So yeah, I'm going to go. That is a hot take. There you go. King Matthew says, hot take. Ray should have died in the first I Know What You Did Last Summer instead of Barry, and Barry and Julie be the main characters, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Well, I think they killed Barry because during the whole incident, he is the most problematic character that wants them to not take responsibility. And in the book, Barry ends up living in the book, but no one gets killed in the book. Barry gets shot, and Helen almost gets killed by the bad guy. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that wants to read the book. It's a really good thriller and a really good kind of a mystery. Very much different than the movie. It's not a slasher at all, but it is very intense for sure. Dad says, I like the original Last Summer, but don't know their names, only the actors. So Ray is Freddie Prinze Jr. and Barry is Ryan Felipe. Yeah, I was a little late getting in here tonight. Had to feed little Duncan, and then I was like, oh shoot, we have 10 new channel members, and so I wanted to get those members' names added to the card. So yeah, sorry about being late today, guys. What's happening, Billy Judd? How are you doing? So great to see ya. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, so Screamer, this is a second account that you've got? Okay. Well, I could see all the jack wagons driving. I could see everything in the chat. You can't leave a comment on a stream before the stream starts. So if it's a video that's like set to premiere, you can leave a comment, I think. But if it's an actual live stream, no one is able. Like, I couldn't even drop a pinned comment on a live stream of my own before the live stream has taken place. So yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with like, being on the phone, or you're definitely not blocked. So yeah, I don't know if you're still here, Screamer 420 or Jack Wagons Drive In. But yeah, definitely not blocked. No one can leave a comment before the stream happens. Billy Judd saying, what's up to Chester? Let's see here. We got Erica in the chat. How are you doing, Erica? One of our great Death Squad mods. Ooh, Erica. Yeah, did you say you're on vacation or something like that? Or I mean, I guess maybe you just have the weekend off. You're up late. I love it. I hope you've had an awesome Saturday. I wanted to jump in the pool so bad last night, guys, but I had to get up early for work today, so I just settled down and went to bed. But I think tonight, after tonight's stream, I am going to get in a little night swim. Not the movie by Blumhouse, although I might watch a movie. We'll see. Maybe Duncan and I can snuggle on the couch and take in a movie. Yeah, definitely not blocked Screamer. So just breathe. Everyone can see your chats for sure. Everything is all good, my guy. Fight the good fight. What's happening, bud? Give me your hot takes. What are your hot takes? Fight the good fight. I need to see them. Antonis Andriota says, hot take, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 remake is my favorite in the franchise. And then he says, in all caps, yes, I'm serious. I actually love it, to be honest. Well, that is awesome that you really love that movie, Antonis. I'm not the biggest fan of the 2010 remake. I tried to watch it once. Then the second attempt, I was actually able to get through it. And I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I don't know if I'll ever revisit the movie because I do prefer the original. I think the original is still my favorite in the franchise. I also, Dream Warriors is really fun. I really love New Nightmare. And I've grown quite fond of Part 4. I think that's the Dream Master. I don't know what it is. It's so funny. Like the last couple times I've watched that movie, just within the last year, I'm like, man, I am digging this. Whereas I didn't really care for it very much before that, but something's just kind of switched. I don't know, but that is certainly a hot take, Antonis. I know there are plenty of people that are big fans of the 2010 remake. I know my guy Nick from the Lost River Drive-In is a big fan of the remake. I don't think he would say it's his favorite in the franchise, but I know that he really loves the film. So, hey, man, more power to you. I love hot takes. I mean, that's why we're here. That's one of the fun things about being a horror fan, guys, and I didn't really lay this all out. I just kind of got into the chat and got into the hot takes right away because I've been going live late every single night this week, so I'm just sort of kind of all out of sorts. But yeah, before we get going any further, we're about 14 minutes in here. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content because the community is growing here, guys. And a big part of that is you. So thank you all very much. And I will say, if you're watching this after the fact, drop in and leave a comment. Let us know your hot takes. I respond to most of the comments. If it's something that truly is a comment that is something I can respond to or something that I can really engage with, I love jumping into the comments and getting that conversation going with you guys. So if you're watching after the fact, first off, thank you so much. It really does help the live streams when people view them on the replay. Yeah, let me know some of your hot takes. Let's chat it up a little bit. And then even if there are some hot takes that you hear during this stream that you want to respond to, let me know. Just jump on in. And I think, guys, right now we are just, let me see here, taking a look at the analytics. We have 1,588 subscribers. So, guys, we just keep on edging closer to that 1,600 mark. We are just 12 subscribers away from crossing 1,600, which would be incredible for this channel. It would be amazing to see that kind of growth. So, love you guys so much. Thank you for everything you do for the channel. Right now, we have 26 people hanging out. Everyone, drop in. Let me know your hot take. Do me a favor and just put hot take in all caps. Actually, let me drop in here. Share your hot take by writing hot take before your hot take. Have a drink for every time I say hot take. There we go. So we'll make a drinking game out of it for those of you who are partaking. How about that? There we go. Gonna pin that in the chat and then we'll go ahead and continue here. Booyah! The Oct is in the chat. 89 days until Halloween. Hell yeah, that is amazing. Less than 3 months away, people. We got Aaron Click joining us. What's happening, Aaron? So good to see ya. Boom, there it is. Nick from the Lost River Drive-In. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Yes, this is a hot take. Halloween 5 rules. is certainly a hot take. Yeah. Nick, I still want to have you on the channel. Maybe sometime we can do that this spooky season, have you on for a watch party and watch Halloween 5 together. I think that would be really cool. You know, we'll be able to celebrate the film. You'll be able to, you know, maybe bring me over to your side a little bit more. Also, some of the people in the chat that maybe aren't as fond as Halloween 5 as you are, or fond of Halloween 5 as you are. And then I can also state my gripes. It would be really great. It would be fun. I don't hate. Do I hate any of the Halloween movies? I mean, I love the Halloween franchise so much. There are just certain movies I don't watch as often, or I find myself struggling to get through. And Halloween 5, I watch it at least once a year. So, you know, I might not think that it rules personally, but I still watch it at least once a year. So there you go. T. Parker says late fight, Davey versus Duncan the cat. Yes. He's just so sweet, but man, he's still a kitten. So he's very, you know, like I was trying to get to bed last night. It was like 2 or 3 and I had to wake up at like 7, and he plays fetch with, like, he has his springs, of course, but he loves playing fetch with earplugs. those foam earplugs. And so I'm just laying there trying to relax, and he jumps up onto the bed. And what he'll do is he'll drop the earplug near one of my hands, and then he'll just start like clawing at my hand. And I'm like, dude, will you just like snuggle me and go to bed, bud? No, he will not adhere to my will at all. What's happening? We got Todd Bound in the chat. Bound. There you go. I don't know what happened, Screamer, because I didn't block you from the channel. And there were no other mods in here. So I have no idea what happened, because I certainly didn't do any blocking. And yeah, Erica jumped into the chat after you had already left from that account. So I don't know. Maybe it was a certain amount of chat. I don't have any like weird guards set up or anything like that. So I don't know why it would kick you out of there. But might be something to take up with YouTube, I would imagine. But let's just go ahead, and we don't need to talk about it anymore in the chat tonight. Yeah, this might be why, because there's like double chats coming in. So maybe it's some sort of spamming thing that's set up. I'm not sure. What's happening? Denise Wheat, one of our great channel members and Patreon members. How you doing, Denise? So great to see ya. Guys, if you missed Nick's stream from earlier on, you gotta go check it out. I'm sure you're already all subscribed over at the Lost River Drive-In, but if you're not, go sub over to his channel. He has had a massive growth over there. A massive growth on his channel. It's benign, though. Don't worry. Awesome stream earlier. Paying the bills on that stream earlier, thanks to the Pumpkin King. The Pumpkin King coming through. But it was a really, really great stream. So some serious life stuff and some fun stuff. Yeah, you know. I like that. I feel like, you know, and we try to do a little bit of a potpourri over here as well, I think sometimes. Let's see here. You're totally okay, Erica. You're all good. What's happening, Matt? So great to see ya. Nothing is sacred anymore. Is that your hot take? Is that the hot take? I'll always know what you did last summer sucks. I don't think that's a hot take, but yeah, there you go. I've never even seen it. Guys, I don't think I'll ever watch I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, straight to DVD or whatever. It doesn't even seem like it's really tied to like what happened, because it has nothing to do with the characters from the original. So it's like, if you're going to bring back the fisherman as like a supernatural ghost and just have him be like a random ass, like undead Jason Voorhees, you know, photocopy, I have no interest in that, especially if it's direct to video. I don't think the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise is that strong. I mean, come on. Like how good is the best movie in that franchise? Like C+? Probably. Like the original is probably like a C+. Yeah, maybe a B-, maybe a B-. I don't know. 5, but we don't talk about Ravager. Yeah, and I think I've only seen like the first 3, Nick. So I would be all for doing a just a restart on Phantasm. Yeah, they didn't click enough with me for me to want to like keep on going, but I I found there was a certain amount of charm, especially with that second movie. I was like, this is fun. You know, it's not clicking with me the way that like Evil Dead clicked with me or anything like that. There we go. Aaron Click, porno parody of Phantasm. Phantgasm. I like it. Oh my God, I'm having a phantgasm. Yes, Erica, did everyone hit that like button? If not, you better go do it or else. And she's got the knives out, guys. So just listen to what Erica says, okay? Don't fuck with her. Don't fuck with the mods. All right, we have 22 likes now. We're doing pretty good. Not horror, says Todd Bound, but I thought Fantastic Four sucked. What about it, Todd? I'm interested. I'm interested to know more. So what I love, you know, what we do here is, of course, all opinions are welcome, but I would love to get some context for what, you know, not only, it sounds like it just not only didn't work for you, but there was stuff that like actively were against your sensibilities. So I'm very curious to know what you thought about It Sucked. I was surprised. Like, I thought the acting was, like, the chemistry was a surprise to me, how much chemistry the performers had. I think Pedro Pascal is absolutely insufferable as a human being. I don't think I ever need to hear him like talk outside of the, you know, performing on a screen. I don't need to see any of the red carpet or any of the interview stuff. It's just like, it drives me nuts. But I thought he was good in the movie, you know, and I could have easily not liked the performance because of my personal bias against him just as a dude. But yeah, Vanessa Kirby, I've never seen her in anything at all. I thought she was fantastic. There you go. Johnny Storm, I was very surprised with how he actually had something to do in the movie, because it seems like Johnny's never really had anything to do in the other movies, unfortunately. I think the third act could have been a lot better, for sure. There are some kind of plot holes, like, why did they even try to... Why was the plan to teleport the whole planet when you could have just had one of those things and done what they wanted to do with Galactus from the very beginning? Like, that should have been the first plan. If I were the rest of the world, I'd be like, the fuck, guys? Like, we built like 100 of these things. We you know, did these worldwide blackouts, and every country contributed millions of dollars, and all you needed was the one that you had right in front of your office building. Hard blink, you know. T. Parker says, hot take, Halloween Ends is not only the best of the Blumhouse trilogy, but it's also the best Halloween sequel. Well, I'm not going to tell you that's a hot take, T, because I completely agree with you. But I guess it is a hot take. Just between you and me, I don't find it hot personally, because I love the take. The take is like warm like a fresh biscuit. I love it. I love this take. I'm right there with you, man. Halloween Ends has become my favorite sequel in the whole franchise, and the David Gordon Green trilogy is in my top 5 of the franchise. All 3 movies. Fight the Good Fight says, I try so hard to like Jason X, but it just doesn't work for me. Sci-Fi Channel Jason. Yeah, I'm right there with you too. The thing about Jason X, and I know it's got its defenders, and I know that Vincent DeSanti really enjoys it as well and wants to do a sequel. And I think if he did a sequel to Jason X, it would probably be better, because I'm right there with you on the whole Sci-Fi Channel. It looks like a low budget Star Trek TV show. And maybe that's because it was... Guys, I don't know if you know this. Technically, Jason X was the first movie shot on digital film. Like, it was the first fully digitally shot movie. However, it wasn't the first one released. So it was shot before I think it was the Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace came out before Jason X because of post-production woes and all that kind of stuff. But technically, Jason X was the very first movie shot on digital. And I think there's a little bit of that makes it look kind of like those British TV shows that are shot on video. And it's like you're watching a stage play. It just doesn't have a cinematic look to it. And I think that's what we're getting in Jason X. And also, I just think that they didn't spend a lot of money, especially on the, the interior of the spacecraft. Like the opening and everything looks a lot better than everything in space, for sure. Matt says maybe a hot take, not sure, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is awful. Oh, shit. Oh, man. It's like one of the only movies I like in the franchise. But I will say this, Matt, when I saw it in the theater, I really, really enjoyed it. And then I watched it when it came out on DVD later that year. I was actually working at a Blockbuster in Bozeman, Montana when it came out on DVD. And I didn't find it as charming on a second watch. And maybe that's because I was watching it at home or whatever. But I think it's a pretty solid remake. Awful, huh? Okay, so Matt, I'm curious to know what are your favorite? I don't think. Well, I guess the franchise is big enough now. What are your top 3 in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise? Because I think there's a few that I haven't seen. So I haven't seen either Leatherface movie, and I haven't seen the beginning, but I've seen all the others. And I like the original and the remake the most out of all of them. Daz says total agreement that Ends is the best sequel of the original timeline. Yes. There we go, Daz. People are coming on back. Yes. 21 people, but only 14 likes. Come on, guys. Yeah. Davey, did you watch SummerSlam? Joel, no, I did not. I used to watch WWE when it was WWF in the 80s. And I think I stopped watching professional wrestling in like 1990. I was about 8 years old, and then it just didn't keep my interest after that, for sure. I have a lot of friends though that love professional wrestling, so like anything else, it's one of those things where it's like, look, I'm not gonna like hate on you or give you shit for your hobbies. Like, Lord knows I've got plenty of hobbies that a lot of people could probably be like, dude, that's a stupid hobby. Like you like watching sports, you like watching football all day on Sunday, you like playing 8-bit video games from the Nintendo. I'm trying to think of some other dorky stuff I do. Like some of the stuff I watch on YouTube, just a whole bunch of nerdy shit. So I feel like everyone should lean into their nerdy shit and enjoy it. Yeah. All right, we got Ashton Luck in the house. What's happening, Ashton? Great to see ya. The Oct jumping in with a hot take says it might be interesting to see a reimagined version of Halloween where Judith is evil instead of Michael. A 15-year-old girl murdering her 6-year-old brother is a darker way to open, in my opinion. Well, it certainly is a darker way to open. And, we could go that route of switching it up as to who in the Myers family is taken over by the evil and, becomes the shape. I like the idea. I mean, I know it might be boring. I love Michael so much. I just want to see a creative way of revamping his story. And that's why I keep on talking about that black and white pitch animatic that was created by Federico D'Alessandro. It is on Vimeo. And guys, I know I keep on sharing this, but just in case, I don't know if Nick from the Lost River Drive-In is still in the chat, or just in case there are any hardcore Halloween fans that haven't seen this animatic pitch. It's only about 9 minutes long. I think it would be like, I just imagine this as the opening to a total reboot of Halloween. And I think it's a really, really good opening. Very striking. Really good shit. So check it out if you haven't. We got Prince, aka the Asian Action Assassin, jumping on in, says, were you high on that public announcement video I showed you? I don't think I was high for that. Guys, I was years ago, over 10 years ago, I was part of this show in Portland called Bridge City Sessions, where we recorded live music and we did interviews, and they're still going, but it really is just the showcase for the music now. But when we first started the show, I was the host. And so I would do intros, give a little background on the band, and, interview the band as well. So we did a little public. If you look up Bridge City Sessions, Davey, you can find the video that Prince is talking about there. And I think they edited the video to make it even funnier, for sure. I'd probably watch the original Friday the 13th the least out of the series. Yeah. I'm trying to think which one. Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason X, probably Jason X. Yeah. Helen almost made it to freedom but got killed at the last second. It's so freaking avoidable. Yeah, I mean, it's a great scene though. It's a really good. To me, that scene with Helen is what puts the first I Know What You Did Last Summer above the rest, and it's one of the reasons why I thought the remake was so incredibly weak. No tension at all. There is no suspense in I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Absolutely zero. It is very unfortunate. If that movie were just a little more drawn out on some of those kill scenes to actually build some suspense, it would have at least gotten another star. It would have been 2.5 stars from me instead of 1.5. Yeah, that movie just really, the script just really let it down. And I don't think the director really knows what they're doing either. Or unless it was out of their hands on the cut. What's happening, Dave Vanderhoff? How you doing, bud? So great to see ya. Always a pleasure. Hell yeah. What are your hot takes, Dave? Give me a Vanderhoff hot take. Come on. Joel, I did watch SummerSlam. I was pissed big time. Oh, we got some wrestling chat. I don't know what's going on. I didn't block you, but let's just go ahead and stop talking about it. How about that? There we go. You can comment through this one, and I don't have an answer for you. And I'm certainly not going to stop the stream to find an answer. So let's just be cool and participate in the communal discussion here, okay? Thank you. Me? No, just the weekend off. Oh, well, take a vacation. Yeah, you deserve it. Come on, Erica. You deserve it. Let's see here. Hot take. I didn't hate Night Swim. It was fine at best. I avoided that one because I heard nothing good about it. I heard it was like, oh, it's just basically Poltergeist. Oh, it's just another movie where the husband gets possessed by evil. It's just another movie with an evil dad. I'd rather watch Evil Dead than Evil Dad. It's the difference of one letter, and it really is a world of difference. You know what I mean, T? So yeah, I avoided that one. It's funny when people, rip on Blumhouse and stuff. It's like, I get it. Blumhouse has movies that a lot of people haven't liked, like Night Swim or Imaginary, or I'm sure there's so many others, but I feel like Blumhouse has had some really, really good movies too. I love the David Gordon Green Halloweens. So I don't know. It's like if Blumhouse takes over Friday the 13th, I think they'll do a good job. With Saw, I think they'll do a good job. Again, especially with James Wan from Atomic Monster being there, Blumhouse will just like finance it and be able to stamp their name on there, and they'll be able to add to that beautiful intro they have with Michael lurking in the woods. They'll be able to put Jigsaw in there and get little whatever the puppet's name is on his little tricycle in there and everything. And I feel the same way about like A24. Maybe we've seen more solid movies from like Neon, and maybe that's why people kind of rip on A24 and Blumhouse. But it's so funny. It's like people rip on A24. They're like, their movies are too like highbrow, up their own ass, and then they rip on Blumhouse because they're like, oh, the Blumhouse movies are just like PG-13, like they're just so trash. They have no other layers to them. And it's like, okay, so what do you want? Do you want like a highbrow horror movie from A24? Do you want the single serving PG-13 horror from Blumhouse, or is it just that both production companies and all production companies make good and bad movies? Like, is Universal making a good movie every single time? Paramount, Columbia, TriStar, Touchstone, are they all great? I don't think so. But yeah, maybe I should give Night Swim a shot, T. Never have checked it out. Hot take. Scream 3 was the last great Scream movie. All right. King Matthew III, I do think that is a hot take. Certified hot take from King Matthew III. And I'll tell you why. I know a lot of people, especially younger fans of the franchise, really like 5 and 6. I think 5 and 6 are the worst movies in the franchise. I don't think they're trash. I just think they're the worst movies in the franchise. But I love Scream 4. Scream 4 is my favorite sequel in the franchise. And but I really like Scream 3. Every time I watch Scream 3, I never disliked it, but when it was just the 3 Scream movies, that was how it was for a really long time, guys, almost 10 years or over 10 years, right? It was just the 3 movies. So at that time, it was really easy to be like, oh, Scream 3 is the worst one in the franchise. At least it was easy for the people that, you know, kind of grew up with those movies, because it seemed so detached and so much of a different kind of tone, like a way more like kind of comedic tone almost. But the more I watch Scream 3, I really enjoy Roman as a character. I love I mean, maybe things get a little over the top Scooby-Doo-ish at the end, which I think is fine for Scream, because I think they all kind of do that. I do really love that brother-sister connection more and more every time I watch that movie. Especially the moment, I believe it's after Sydney stabs him with the letter opener, and they're like holding hands and they're looking at each other, and Roman has this like a really great performance from what's his face? Why can't I think of the guy's name? You guys let me know in the chat. For whatever reason, I can't think of the actor's name right now. Really great performance where he's looking at her, he looks her in the eyes, and he has like this, almost like this epiphany of like, oh my God, this is my sister, and maybe I should have tried to have a relationship with her. You know, because he never tried with Sydney. He just hated her because of what the mom did, you know? So yeah, I think that is a hot take, though. Scream 3, last great Scream movie. All right, I don't know. Guys, again, let me know in the chat, like when people are dropping their hot takes, like feel free to chime on in the chat. And if you're watching after the fact, jump on down to the comments and let us know what you think of these hot takes that the group is throwing out here. I love this because I have some hot takes ready to go, but you know what, guys? I'll just table those for another time. And I want to keep on seeing the hot takes come from you guys, because this is when I have the most fun on a stream, you guys, is when I get to just sort of be the MC, right? And you guys get to, I don't know, that's why it's a community. That's why when I talk about the channel, I say we, even though I'm the only one that like edits the videos and sets up the streams and blah, blah. And I don't have an editor. I don't have like a collaborator consistently. You know, we have guests and everything on the channel, but there's not a consistent collaborator. But I still love using that word we, because I always think of you guys when I'm thinking of the channel. So I love it. I love it. King Matthew III, thank you for the hot take here. I really like the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street remake as well. There it is. But is it your favorite in the franchise, Dave? Because Antonis said earlier that it was his favorite in the franchise. That is hot take of the night. Is that the one you're talking about? Fight the Good Fight? Yeah, I would imagine. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Billy Judd says, hot take, Helen's death and I Know What You Did Last Summer was the most avoidable. I understand Sarah Michelle Gellar was busy with Buffy too, or just Buffy, but killing Helen off was bullcrap. Well, they had to kill people. There's such a small cast in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, you know that, we have 4 leads, so you know at least 2 of them have got to go, right? I mean, that's the problem. That's why you want to, in a slasher movie, you want to have at least 6 leads, right? So you could kill 3 to 4. Because, yeah, I mean, I think it would have been great to see Helen live and go on to the sequel, but they didn't have anybody else to kill. I mean, they killed they killed Rusty from Christmas Vacation. He's hardly in the movie. And you know what kind of sucks, too, about that first movie is they should have kept him alive as a red herring. They made that mistake. They made that mistake in the remake, too, not the remake, but the reboot with I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. They made that mistake with the blogger. Or the vlogger, whatever, the chick that does the bloody disgusting thing. You're getting rid of a character when that could have been a red herring. Same thing in Scream 5 with Kyle Gallner's character. Why are we killing this guy? We've seen him deliver like 3 or 4 lines of dialogue. If you keep him around for another 20 or 30 minutes, then you can keep the audience thinking that maybe that's the guy. I don't understand what these writers are doing sometimes. Especially when it comes to what is it, Guy Busick, or the people that wrote Scream 5 and 6. I really don't understand what they're doing. Elm Street remake didn't do it first for me, but I should give it another watch. Yeah. Maybe I should watch it another time. I don't know. I really wanted. Here's my hot take. Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 would have been could have been a top 5 movie in the franchise. I know there's not many movies in the franchise. Could have been a top 5 movie in the franchise if Freddy actually was innocent and the parents still killed him, and that's what made him make him deal with the devil. And 2, at the very least, don't turn him into a chimo, which is short for something I don't want to say because I don't want YouTube to think that I'm talking about it in any way that's not derogatory. But I thought it was very odd to have him be a child predator in the sexual sense, if that makes any sense. And I think the movie could have been a lot better, and I certainly would have found it way more intriguing if the plot twist was that he was actually innocent, and so he was justified in wanting revenge. And he was like, well, if you blamed me for this in real life and you killed me for it, even though I wasn't guilty, I'm gonna get my revenge in the afterlife. I think that would have been a much more satisfying way, and it would have been a nice, cool little twist. I think it would have set up a true reboot of the franchise instead of being a one and done. I think Nightmare on Elm Street 2010's a total failure. I mean, obviously it's a total failure. Even if it made its money back at the box office, if it doesn't spawn another movie, it's a failure. I love the Friday the 13th 09 remake. Failure. I mean, it is. Sucks, but it is. What can you do? What's happening, Gavin? We got Mud Nelson in the chat. Hope you are doing well, sir. Drop in a hot take or two. Would love to see what you've been thinking lately. I've been paying attention to your Letterboxd review drops on the Instagram stories and everything. I would love to visit Gavin and just, thumb through his beautiful physical media collection. Maybe have a whiskey drink and watch a couple movies. How about it, Gav? What do you say? Ashton Luck says, hot take, Halloween Ends is the second best of the franchise and a great closer to the trilogy. Ashton, you are the second person to say that it's the best. I mean, essentially you're saying it's the best sequel, right? I would imagine your favorite in the franchise is the original Halloween. If it's not, I would be surprised. That might even be a hotter take, but I love it. I love it. I think a lot of people would consider this a hot take, but like I said, it's like a warm biscuit take. I love this take so much. I love Halloween Ends. Might have to watch it tonight. King Matthew the Third says, I enjoyed the Nightmare 2010 as well. I think Jackie was a great Freddy. He was just dealing with a bad script. Well, yeah, that's true. I think he could have been a way better Freddy with a better script. I didn't find him that scary. I didn't really like the way he delivered the lines. Didn't really like the way Freddy looked, but that's all so subjective, Let's see here. Who else do we got? Hit the like button, party people. There you go. Antonis is saying, hot take, I find Halloween 1978 pretty boring. And I probably just lost the whole horror community. Did you notice my brain had a tough time even processing the sentence to even finish it, Antonis? Dude, again, all opinions are welcome here. Especially, if we're cool about our opinions and we're able to explain them, I get it, man. I don't find it boring. And I think sometimes with Halloween 78, and I don't know how old you are, Antonis, but I think sometimes there's a little bit of how old were you when you first saw it? What generation did you grow up in? I think, maybe for younger people, maybe it is a little more boring than it is for us older heads. And I saw it when I was 8 years old. So it always just kind of puts me back there. And I like the slow burn aspect of it. Admittedly, I like slow burn films. So, movies like The Changeling or The Innkeepers or We Are Still Here or Halloween 78, even Black Christmas from 1974. I think there's some slow burn qualities there. as well. And I really enjoy it because I find that it's like, you know, it's like a tea kettle on medium heat. Like, you know that it's going to whistle at some point, but you know it's going to take a little bit longer to get there. And I like that when I'm watching a horror movie. You know, even my guys from Mystery Science Theater 3000, they do this thing called riff tracks where they, you know, after the show ended, they recorded commentaries, and they were able to do them for very famous movies because they didn't have to have the rights to the movies to do them. So they did a riff tracks for Halloween, and I listened to it, and they're ripping on it for being bored. Like, they're basically like, oh, it's the scariest movie ever, when it's like Michael looking from behind the bush, or like driving the car slowly. They're like kind of giving it shit, and it's, I get it. Like, I totally get it. I don't find it offensive. I don't think you lost the whole horror community. I think that maybe Nightmare 2010 being your favorite in the franchise, I think that might be a hotter take than what I'm seeing here, because I see a lot of people that say Halloween 78 is boring. It Follows bored me to death. Is that a hot take? It might be. You know, I've not yet seen It Follows, but it seems like it's a pretty divisive movie. It's, at least from what I've seen here in the chat. You know, whenever it comes up, there are people that are like, oh, I hated that movie, and other people are like, oh, I loved it. Some people are like, it reminds me of John Carpenter, like old Carpenter with Dean Cundy, with the slow tracking shots and the synth score and everything like that. But I have not yet seen it. It's basically a walking sim movie, right? About a sexually transmitted demonic figure. It's like Smile, but with fucking. Is that what It Follows is like? Or Smile is like It Follows, but with a smile? Screamer 420 says, in the early internet days, there was Retro Horror Remix, who downloaded and recorded those onto DVDs. You know, I've never heard of that. Retro Horror Remix. I'm going to look that up. Retro Horror Remix. Preserving the existing edits. Interesting, including extended cuts. Okay. I see there is a group on Facebook for Retro Horror Remix Remastered. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Did not like It Follows. There you go. There's another one. Didn't like it the first time. Loved it the second time. Sometimes that happens, guys. There are movies that have brought me around on a subsequent viewing. And then there are movies that I watch the second or third time, and I'm like, oh no, I really don't like this movie. Like, what happened? Like, I like Evil Dead Rise more now that I've seen it like 4 times. The first time I watched it, I didn't dislike it, but I was disappointed for sure. T, I've just got some water right now. Yep. Oh yeah, just drinking that water. I can only drink Coke since I'm 18 and can't drink beer yet. Well, I guess you can, but it would be, you know, not legal. Erica says, Davey doesn't currently have any super chat goals started, but sending in super chats will get your message to the top of the list and supports the channel. Consider sending in a super chat. Yeah, I could start a goal. What kind of super chat goal should I start? I don't know. It's relatively early. I don't know, but again, I'm sort of done talking about the comments thing tonight. Let's talk about horror hot takes, because clearly your comments are coming through, Screamer 420. So that's the last warning. Stop talking about the comments. Thank you so much. I really don't want to be that guy on the live stream that has to keep on asking somebody to not do things, but apparently that's where we are tonight, unfortunately. Raj Ram 2025 jumps in and says, hot take, Fantastic Four 2025 is the best superhero movie of all time. Holy cow, that's incredibly hot. It just came out, Raj. It just came out. Maybe we're just too close, right? Sometimes when you're too close, that hype train, you get that hype train going because you're so pumped that finally there's a legitimately good Fantastic Four movie. Is it better than Spider-Man 2? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2? Is it better than X2? Is it better than X-Men Days of Future Past? Is it better than The Batman? I liked Thunderbolts more, honestly. That is a hot take, though. I'm not here to argue. I'm just, here to get that conversation going with you. Holy cow, guys. We have 35 people here in the chat. If you're watching live, drop in a hot take. Just put hot take in all caps before your hot take. Make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the stream get seen by more people. Let's see if we can get up to 40 people in here. That would be friggin' wild, guys. And if you're watching right now, and maybe this is your first time, consider hitting that subscribe button. We are just about 12 subscribers away from crossing the 1,600 subscriber mark. That would be really cool. And last thing I've got for you, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. And let's watch this community grow. Yeah, that is a hot take, Raj. Prince says, hot take, I just watched Longlegs months ago. So you just watched it, but it was months ago. It was slightly bad. I have to agree that it's overrated. Oh, that is, I think for a lot of people, it's not a hot take, Prince. I think people are kind of 50-50 on Longlegs. And here's the thing I will say. No one's ever given me a reason why. Cecil got pretty close the other night. Cecil said he didn't like it. He says he doesn't think the camera movement is very creative, and he didn't like that they obscured some of the gore. They still show some of the gore. I like a little bit of everything. You guys know that. I like dynamicism in movies and in music. I don't want music that's the whole time. I need little peaks and valleys in there. And I want the same thing with movies. I don't want the gore to be balls to the wall the entire time. I don't want it to be obscured the entire time. I want a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I want a tapestry woven of everything the director's got for me. And he also said he just didn't like the look of Nicolas Cage. So I guess if you don't like the look of the main antagonist, maybe it's going to be tough to like the movie. But I have heard a lot of people that are like, the third act didn't work for me, and they can't say why. I don't know. To me, that's sort of like, I think you might just be, I'm not accusing you of this, Prince, but please feel free to tell me why you thought it was slightly bad and think it's overrated. But I think a lot of people, maybe it's just contrarian. They just don't want to admit that it's an absolutely gorgeous film that looks like Stanley Kubrick and Wes Anderson had a horror baby. I always liked Halloween 5, and Tina is underrated. I think Tina's great. I do really like Tina. She is one of the hottest women in horror, I think. Tina's a smoke show. Now, she didn't write the script. The actress didn't write the script, so maybe there's some annoying things about her character, but I think it's pretty realistic. There are people that are annoying. Just look at me. It's true. It happens. You agree with Lost River Driving on Halloween 5 ruling? I am so far behind on the chat. Yeah, you gotta give it a, I guess if you really hated the movie Fight the Good Fight, it is tough to want to watch it again. But I do find that with any kind of art, sometimes when you revisit it, you might see something that you missed the first time. I know that that's true with me. And so it's not me trying to say like, oh, I know everything and you just need to give it. No, it's like I've had that happen with albums and with movies. And I think it's a good piece of advice as like audience members. I think it can make us better audience members. I'd rather stand in traffic than watch Halloween 5 again. Friday the 13th, 2009 was re-edited with the original music from the original movie and taking out all modern technology. Anybody see it? No, I've not seen that. I have not seen that. Actually, loved the Elm Street remake so much that I had to leave the Planet Dirty live stream a couple weeks ago because Brandon put the remake dead last. I was surprised. Well, you don't have to take it personally. Brandon is the hot take maestro, Antonis. He is, like, I think it's just like with the wrestling, he wants to be the heel. He wants to be the guy that's like, revving up the crowd. Somebody's got to be that guy in the audience. We can't all be nice, right? Maybe I should be meaner when I'm talking about movies. Maybe that would make the channel more popular. I do love Halloween 5, says Matt. It holds a special place since I watched it a lot as a kid. Yeah, I saw it a lot when I was a kid too. I rented Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 a shitload when I was a kid. And when I met Danielle Harris, I got to tell her that, I was about the same age. She was born, she's like 4 years older than me, I think. But you know, to me, watching those performances, I felt like, oh, we're about the same age, so I was really able to like put myself in her shoes, you know, in that character's shoes. Hell yeah. Yeah, we gotta make it up. Gotta make that up. All right. Hot take: Halloween H2O is hot garbage. Woo! There's another hot take. And this one's coming from Matt Arnett. Yeah, H2O, I try to be really nice about this movie. It's got some good things going for it. It's just not complete. It is, I think it's a mess. I don't know. Hot garbage, I like it. I think hot garbage is taking it to the hot take. I think I'm being too nice about it by just saying it's a mess. The mask is just so fucked up. Every single mask in this movie sucks, except for the curse mask from the opening scene. The opening scene is great. The first third of the movie I actually really enjoy. I love like the characterization of Laurie in H2O. It works for me and it makes a lot of sense. I wish there were a higher body count in H2O. I wish that Steve Miner wasn't really trying to do something akin to the original movie. I would have preferred that he took it a little more modern. If you're going to be the Scream version of Halloween, then, you know, there's only one death in the movie that I can really remember that is actually like graphic. You know, the girl hanging from the light fixture is about as graphic as it gets, and it never really gets there again, unfortunately. So, and also the cops that we see at the beginning of the movie, where the hell are they for the rest of the movie? I mean, I know there's jurisdiction, but it's like, guys, imagine H2O that's like 10 to 15 minutes longer, and we actually get some pursuit from those guys trying to follow Michael. Maybe they show up at the end. Maybe they help out. Maybe one of them gets killed by Michael when they're on the road. Just something. Yeah. Yep. Hot take: I love Loomis in Halloween 5, says T. Parker Evans. He said, F them kids, Michael dies tonight, and he's so real for that. Loomis is great in Halloween 5. I mean, DJ Donnie P, as I like to call him, Donald Pleasance. I don't know why. I just like to call him DJ Donnie P. Love him in Halloween 5. I think he really is the glue that's like holding a movie that I see as kind of rickety. He's holding that movie together. Davey, what are those eyes back there looking at us? Oh, it's a... So this is my nephew's room, and I don't know. It's just like it's like a stuffed head with a baseball hat or a bucket hat. It's a bucket hat. My bad, guys. We got Hollywood Lido in the chat. What's happening, Lido? Guys, I might skip all the way to the bottom of the chat. Here's what I'm going to say. If I miss your hot take, just go ahead and drop it in again. If you really want to make sure that I see your hot take and bring it up here, just throw me a super chat. That'll pop up right away, and I won't miss it. I will not miss it like I miss Lido. I miss Lido so much. Lido, how are you doing, man? Are you hanging in there? I know your lady's gone for another 9 days. 9 times. 9 times. See here, who else we got going? Thank you so much, Erica. Hopefully we were able to do something about that. Yeah, that was getting on my nerves. Daz says, fell out of love with H2O as an adult, but rewatched it last week, and I'm a fan again. Very interesting how revisiting after a number of years can always change opinion. Yes, I do think it's very important for us to revisit art. It can go either way. It really can. And I think H2O for me, I've fallen out of love with it. I loved it in the theater, and then, you know, just longer I keep on watching it, especially with the higher fidelity with Blu-rays and stuff. I'm just like, man, that K&B mask in all of those wide shots cannot be unseen. And oh my God, wait, I'm just going to take this off here for a second. Guys, when Laurie is fighting Michael in like the dining hall or whatever, the chapel, the main hall, it is like one shot Stan Winston mask. Now they cut to another shot, K&B alien mask, Stan Winston alien mask, Stan Winston alien mask, and it is like, it's like jarring. I feel like punch drunk after watching that scene. And to me, guys, The portrayal of Michael is the most important thing to me personally when I'm thinking of like how I rank and how I love the Halloween movies. If Michael isn't right, it knocks stuff down. It just is knocking it down incrementally to which it cannot climb back up. And H2O has massive problems with the portrayal of Michael. The mask, none of the masks work for me except for the curse mask at the beginning. They should have stuck with that. But it also, like, Steve Miner should have never had that job. That guy, you know what he did? Friday the 13th, 2 and 3, like, 15 years before tackling Halloween. And all he did between that was, I guess he did House, but then he did a bunch of TV shows. This guy is, and also he hated the curse mask. He was like pissed off when he found out that they used it in that scene, which is like, that's kind of your fault that you didn't notice. You hate the mask so much and you didn't notice. If I were a producer on Halloween H2O, I never would have hired him, or I would have fired him after he got rid of that mask. Hollywood Lido says, hot take, I like hot cakes. Hey, that's not I love, who doesn't love hot cakes, right? Do you like calling people hot cakes? That might be a hot take. Let's see what else we got here. American Psycho sucks is this hot take. Both the book and the film. I've never read the book. Bret Easton Ellis, I believe, who also wrote Rules of Attraction, I believe. I think the movie's great. I think it's hilarious. I just look at American Psycho as a very, very dark comedy, like the blackest of black comedies. And it cracks me up. I love it. One of my favorite line deliveries of all time is when they're at the Christmas party, and he's like, oh, what's the guy's name? He says like, hey, so-and-so, have a holly jolly Christmas. And he almost says it like Jim Carrey. I know I say it's one of my favorite lines, and I can't. Hamilton? I can't remember. Sometimes I get brain farts when I go live, guys. Yeah, always no. Hot take, I don't mind the second Candyman movie. What's that one called? Something of the Flesh? Flesh of Flesh or something like that? Or is that the third one? Let me skip ahead, guys. Again, if you have a hot take that I'm missing here, drop it on. Ooh, I'm going to grab this one, though. Aaron Click says, hot take, George C. Scott is too over the top in Exorcist 3. He should have been directed to dial it back. His angry outbursts are unintentionally comical. Well, at least that movie was directed by, why can't I think of his name? See, this is terrible. The guy that wrote the book directed the movie, so maybe he was too scared of George C. Scott. Maybe he was. Nothing much, man. Just talking some hot takes. I am going to skip ahead, guys, because I see I'm way, way behind here. So I'm going to skip all the way to the the bottom of the chat. Guys, if I missed your... Holy cow, I'm like more than a half hour behind. What's happening, Jeff? Great to see ya. Guys, if I missed your hot take, put it back into the chat or submit a super chat and I'll make sure to grab it. There you go. William Peter Blatty. Yep. Saw American Psycho opening night, was relieved the interpretation having a woman director was a wise choice. There you go. Hot take, I love Dream Warriors, but I hated when Nancy dies. Yeah, that's a rough one. It's like sometimes you got to kill those legacy characters. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hot take, says Ashton, I haven't loved any of Oz Perkins' movies I've seen. Ooh, yeah. I've really loved Longlegs a lot, and Keeper looks very interesting to me. So I'm very curious to check out Keeper. I'd give The Monkey like a C+, B-. Yeah, B-. Here's a repost hot take from Daz. I prefer the beginning to the TCM remake, but hot take, Next Generation is misunderstood. It's an enjoyable critique of horror at the time, being a joke and not scary to audiences anymore. I think that's fair. I think that Next Generation is trying is somewhat self-aware, like how absurd it is, it still is like really low budget, and it didn't work for me. I want Texas Chainsaw to be gritty and dirty and uncomfortable. Hot take, don't care for The Shining. And I like Resurrection, says Jay Beach. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, everyone, get your pitchforks and torches ready. You know, The Shining for me is, I like it just fine. It is not my favorite Kubrick movie. I think it's very compelling, and I think it's visually stunning. I will say that. Resurrection, I can't get behind Resurrection, though. Let me see here. Erica, should I put a goal? Should I put a goal in the little dealy bob? So let's do, here we go. I pretty much did this. So guys, if you fulfill this goal, it's going to be 10 super chats of $2 or more. I'll go for another hour. So it's just going to run for a half hour. So if you get this, if you'll fulfill this goal within the next half hour, we'll go, my time will go from 11 to midnight. How about that? So we'll keep on doing hot takes. If not, I will sign off here in, once that expires, once that goal expires. But don't worry. I mean, I'll be back on tomorrow night either way. But if you want to hang with me for another hour, if you want to kick it, 20 bucks collectively through everyone. That's really not that bad. There's 30 of you guys in here. So really, we just need, 10 people to come through for us with $2 or more. Hot take, Dewey should have been Ghostface in Scream 3. I feel that would have been a bold choice. I think that Sydney, Dewey, and Gail were purposely kept off limits for a reason, because they wanted to have that tight-knit group that you could always relate with. Plus, Dewey's sister was killed by Ghostface, so maybe they didn't want to go that route. Although I guess as sort of a messed up revenge kind of thing, yeah, maybe they could have him be like, it was all because of you, Sydney. But everyone says that. All of the Ghostfaces since part 3 have said that, My favorite genre of horror, it's probably slasher, because I love Halloween so much, but I'm a really big demonic possession guy too, Oracle. Evil Dead is my favorite horror franchise of all time. The thing is, when it comes to demonic possession, it's like, I do really like Night of the Demons. That's fun, Demons, the Italian Demons. I really dig that one as well. Zombies? Man, George Romero. I love George Romero. I mean, Night, Dawn, and Day and Land of the Dead are 4 of my favorite zombie movies, 4 of my favorite horror movies. They're probably all top 20 or top 25. And I really love Dead Alive a lot. I really like Return of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead remake, Train to Busan. Maybe it's zombie movies. I don't know. It's really tough. That's a good one, Oracle. That is a good one. It's very difficult for me to pick. But I also like slow burn haunted house movies. Jamie Hart says, hot take, I think people, and by the way, Jamie, welcome on in, one of our great Death Squad mods. And I didn't even say welcome into Jay Beach and Oracle 684. Welcome on in. Jamie says, hot take, I think people trash on stuff that isn't really that bad too much, and they praise crap. Like It Follows way too much. It Follows is getting so much play on the Davey Death Ray channel in the last 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Jamie. I think we're existing in a world, unfortunately, where people are very extreme about their feelings, whether it's something political or a sports team, or how they feel about a celebrity like me with Pedro Pascal, or how they feel about movies or music. And yeah, the movie is either the best thing you've ever seen or it's the worst thing you've ever seen. And if you try to talk about something as having merits but also having faults, people kind of give you the side eye of like, dude, why are you a fence sitter? Instead of just feeling like you should be able to break these things down. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen It Follows, so I can't attest to that. But I do think you're right that people they either want to be the first one on the hype train or the first one on the hate train. We certainly see that. Jamie, I know you're not on Twitter, but if you ever want, like, just hop on Twitter for a second when a new horror movie comes out and just look up the movie. That way you can avoid like all the other ugly stuff that's on Twitter. But it is pretty funny just to see how people, it'll be all over the friggin' place. It really will. Sometimes it's like the monkeys from Superman. Like you think like maybe it is just people farming hate. Longlegs was hard for me to sit through. Why is that, Erica? Was it too personal? Or was it just bore you? Hot take, Village of the Damned 95 is a better remake than The Thing 1982? Oh, that's a double hot take from Chester Franklin Jr. I have not seen either version of The Village of the Damned, but it is very difficult for me to imagine. Oh, my brain, Chester, you're breaking my brain. Of course, and guys, if I overreact or whatever, I'm just having fun with you. Again, all opinions are welcome here, especially if you're not a dick about it. Actually, if you are a dick about it, then you can take your opinion elsewhere. How about that? So I'm certainly not trying to be a dick to you, Chester, but I do think that The Thing 1982 is arguably John Carpenter's best film and one of the best, not only remakes, but I think one of the best horror films and quite possibly the greatest practical effects creature feature that's ever been made. So that is such a hot take. Without having even seen Village of the Damned 95, I'm burning up over that take, Chester. Way to go. That might, dude. Chester, does Chester have the hottest take of the night? Is that hotter than Antonis saying that Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 is his favorite in the franchise? I mean, he's basically saying it's the best in the franchise. Which take is hotter, Chester's or Antonis? Let me know in the chat. If you're watching after the fact, let me know in the comments. And shit, I'm gonna need a minute after that one. Let's see here. It Follows is man, I've seen a lot of hate for It Follows. I gotta watch this movie. I gotta watch It Follows, guys. I wonder if I can stream that. I wonder if I can. Let's see here. It Follows streaming. Let's see what we got. Justwatch.com. What you got for me, girl? Oh, God, I have to rent it? Prime Video? I've got Prime Video. Oh, you have to rent it for $3.99. I could do a HBO, or I could do a Prime Video 30-day trial of one of these things. Yeah, I can't watch it for free. I'm not going to pay for it if you guys are kind of shitting all over it. How about that? Especially because I can't even reach a super chat goal. What the hell? Antonis Andriotis. Wow, guys, by the way, we have 36 people in here. Let's see if we can get it up to 40. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to cross 1,600 on this stream right tonight. And we lost one. We must have lost our guy Scream 420 that couldn't stop talking about the comments and being blocked from the channel, even though no one blocked him from the channel. So keep an eye out for that guy, mods. If he comes back in, maybe we just don't let him back in if we weren't able to put him in a timeout already, because we're down to 1587. So we're 13 away, guys, from reaching that 1,600 mark. Antonis has got another hot take. He says Friday the 13th, 1980 ranks it my number 2 favorite Friday movie in the franchise, after Part 7 at number 1. Wow, that's like that is a double hot take. So hot take, the part 1 of this hot take is that The New Blood is the best movie in the franchise. That is sizzling right there. Having the original be ranked at number 2, I'm sure there are, some people out there that feel that way. I know that the movie is getting more love, but The New Blood being number 1, that's a rare one. But I think, Brett from Good Real Hunting, I think he might have Part 7 at number 1 as well. Let's see here. No, you're fine, Jay. You're fine, Jay Beach. We love you, bud. We love you. I know. It's just you know what, Erica, is I started putting him in for every stream, and then when they don't go through, I start feeling like, oh man. And so I just get lazy about it because I just feel like it ain't gonna happen. Hot take or no, you can get rid of the entire Saw franchise and I wouldn't care. Oh, I love it. Yeah, when like on Twitter when people are like, you have to get rid of one of these franchises, which one do you get rid of? And it's like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and like anything else, or like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Scream, and Saw. I'm like, bye Saw. Like little gif of Forrest Gump like waving from the shrimp boat. Yeah. Shining is very slow and maybe not as scary as some might like, but I enjoy it. Yeah, I agree. I don't find myself wanting to watch The Shining very much. I'll tell you what, guys. I've maybe seen it 3 times in my life. Hot take, Billy was the worst Ghostface, and Mickey from Scream 2 is the best Ghostface with the best motive. I do really like Mickey from Scream 2. I think his motive is chilling. You know, that he's just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get away, because people, I mean, things really were like that in the late 90s, guys, where the conservative right wing of the country was like really into censorship at that time. It's very interesting to see how things have like completely flipped since the late 90s. But that's how it was. When he says like Bob Dole on the witness stand, in my defense, like accurate, like very, very accurate. Parental advisory stickers, although I guess that was Tipper Gore ultimately. And that was like more so like the late 80s. But yeah, tons of censorship. I think Mickey could have gotten away with it. I think Billy's a great Ghostface, though. I think the worst Ghostface is got to be any of the Ghostfaces from 5 and 6. They're all the worst. They suck. Yeah, they blow. Resurrection removed the opening and ending, and it's a 1 hour worth of cheesy fun nostalgia. Yeah, it is. It, you know, it's relatively inoffensive, other than, you know, Busta talking shit to Michael and just being able to walk away from it. It's bizarre. It is bizarre. Yeah, come on, people. Step it up with those $2 super chats. I'm poor, so I can't, says Aaron. There you go. Hot take, Final Destination 3 is overrated. Yeah, I don't like that movie. So I guess for me, it wouldn't be a hot take, but I know some people really like that one. Yeah, I did my ranking. If you guys haven't seen my Final Destination ranking, you should check that one out. But I think I put that one second to last. Yeah, I think it was like the Final Destination and then Final Destination 3. Yeah. Hot take from Aaron Click. The Innkeepers isn't the Borefest people say it is. It's just rich in character development. The protagonists feel real, and it lets their chemistry breathe. Yeah, I think the Innkeepers is intentionally a slow burn. So if you hate slow burns, you are going to have a tough time with the Innkeepers. I would say it's even a slower burn than the House of the Devil. But I do really enjoy Innkeepers. I think I've only seen it once, but it is like one of those movies that once you get that payoff, you're like, oh, so worth it. So worth it. I probably need to see it again, though, to have a better idea. But I think that's a pretty good hot take there, Aaron, because I do see a lot of people ripping on this movie, for sure. I should make watching It Follows a priority. Yeah, well, we'll do a super chat goal for that one next. It's not as bad as you like. Here's what I say, Jamie, is just go into it with a sense of humor about it. I guess that's like what I do when it comes to Twitter is I'm like, well, I know that there's going to be some wild shit on here. So don't let your blood pressure get raised by someone that you're never going to meet, that is just trying to say things to incite feelings in you that they don't, you know, I don't want to give them that power. I basically use Twitter to advertise for the channel, and that's pretty much it. And to follow horror mutuals, or just like when a movie comes out and I'm curious to see what people are saying about it, I just look up the movie. Boom, Erica says Davey has a goal started. If he gets 10 light blue super chats, then he will stay and yap with us for another hour. Let's go. Consider sending a super chat. Yeah, guys, just 17 minutes left. Long Legs boring. How many times have you watched it, Erica? If only once, I say maybe give it a second watch. Well, here's the thing, Matt. I did a watch party once for Demons, and it was my first time watching it, and it was difficult. I felt bad. I was like, I'm not giving the movie the attention it deserves. Like, I am reacting to it, but I'm not soaking it in. So how about this? I would love to watch It Follows just by myself and kind of get an idea, like, you know, pay attention to it, get an idea for how I feel about it. And then maybe we can jump in as a watch party and it can be like a love it or hate it. And you show up to the chat and you tell me why it sucks or tell me why you love it. And speaking of like a love or hate kind of thing or a versus thing, guys, I do want to let you know before we get to close to the end here, August 20th, Cody Leach will be on the channel with myself and Mark from Tales from the Shelf. We are going to do a Child's Play versus, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys to vote on the two movies that we pick, because I think the two fan favorites are Child's Play 2 and Bride of Chucky. I don't know, Antonis, if you're still here, let me know if you think those are the two like best in the franchise, like the two fan favorites. But I should do a poll and have you guys vote, and then just the top two would be the two that we pit against each other, similarly to what we did with Vincent DeSanti when we had him show up for the final chapter versus Jason Lives. We're going to do something very similar with two of the movies from the Child's Play franchise. And not only that, guys, for spooky season, either September or October, I've already spoken with Cecil about this, and I've reached out to Chris Stanley, aka Cosplay Chris, and we're going to have both of them on for a versus battle of the worst A Nightmare on Elm Street film. And I think it's going to be Freddy's Dead versus the 2010 remake. So just planting some seeds for what we have coming up on the channel. But yeah, it's been a while since we've done a watch party. Should we do a watch party tomorrow? I could go on a little bit earlier. We could do a little watch party tomorrow. Or if you guys reach that goal that's in the chat, maybe we could do a watch party tonight. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. Hot take: Snakes on a Plane is the best movie starring Samuel L. Jackson. What? Better than Pulp Fiction? Better than Pulp Fiction. Come on. Yes, we do need to keep on reposting about the super chat goal. Dez, that is such a hot take. I haven't even seen Snakes on a Plane. It does seem like dumb fun to me, but it seems pretty silly. I don't know. Is Snakes on a Plane actually worth watching? Are you just fucking with me, Dez? I feel like you're just fucking with me. Better than Pulp Fiction. Wow, I love Pulp Fiction. That's my favorite Tarantino movie. Either that or Hateful Eight, and they both star Samuel L. Jackson. So how about that? I liked Village of the Damned remake. All right. Maybe I need to check that one out. Boom. Hollywood Lido dropping the 199 super chat. Stay goal. Let's do it. Check Canopy. What's Canopy? What is that? Let's see what else we got here. Chester's is the hotter take. Elm Street movies, meh. Everyone has their opinion on those entries, but The Thing remake is pretty universally loved. There you go. I suppose It Follows is worth watching once, but like I said before, I felt like it was treating the audience as if we're really dumb. Oh, gotcha. That's the thing with walking sim movies, is it's almost like once you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all. Like, you know, The Ring kicked off that first wave of them. But I do think like Smile and Smile 2, I enjoyed those. I think I even liked Smile 2 more than Smile, honestly. But yeah, they are sort of, it's kind of like with that Chris Stuckman movie. Like when I saw the trailer for Shelby Oaks, I was like, man, how many of these movies have I seen? I feel like I've seen a lot of movies like this. So, oof, I'm kind of worried to watch It Follows. I feel like I might not like it. Hey, no worries, King Matthew. Thanks so much for kicking it with us while you're on break, man. Really appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your night at work. Let's see. Hot take: prefer Jackie Brown to Pulp Fiction. You know, I've never seen Jackie Brown. That's one of the, I think there's just like 2 of Tarantino's movies I haven't seen. Hot take from Ashton Luck: TCM 03 is the best movie of the franchise, including the OG. I don't have the OG, but I've always found it overrated. Ooh, you know, there are people out there like you, Ashton. Those two are my favorite in the franchise. I do love the original more than the remake, but I think the remake does a really good job. But man, liking it more than the original, that is hot. That is sizzling hot. Let's see here. Jackie Brown is the best film Tarantino has directed, but it's not the best Tarantino film. That would be Pulp Fiction. He should have made more films based on other people's material. Wait, well, no. Tarantino wrote Pulp Fiction with Roger Avery, right? And Jackie Brown is... Oh, I gotcha. I got what you're saying, because Jackie Brown is based on a book. So he should have done more movies on other people's material. Okay, I gotcha. I mean, Reservoir Dogs is a remake. So Reservoir Dogs isn't even like, you know, he might have written the script because it's based on a Hong Kong film. But it is a remake. Yeah. It hasn't completely flipped. Censorship is a disease that appeals to all sides. I've seen a pretty dynamic shift for sure. Yeah. Let's see here. Pat, that Halloween movie collector is hanging out. One of our great channel members says, thought, if they made a Halloween following Resurrection, who would be the next rapper to star in the film? If they did it now? Oh, gosh. Who would be a good, like, I don't even know who the modern rappers are, guys. I love this guy, Tom McDonald. Very controversial. It would probably piss off a lot of people to, if you went and listened to his songs, you'd be like, Davey likes this guy? Yes, I very much like Tom McDonald. He fucking cracks me up. And he's probably the most punk rock act in music that I can think of right now. Although I wouldn't want him to be in a Halloween movie because I don't want to see that movie, Pat. I don't want to see that movie, Pat. I don't know. Bring back Busta and LL Cool J and have them team up and hunt down Michael Myers. How about that? A Dangertainment roadshow. There we go. There we go. Fair enough, Matt. You'll come on over. Bring a copy because I don't have a copy. How about that? A watch party should always be at least people's second viewing. Yeah. It is. It's too much distraction unless you really don't care, I guess, if you really, really don't care. All right. So Lito's 2 picks for the best or the fan favorites, first and second. The first movie is my favorite in the film. So I'm trying to take a step or in the franchise. So I'm trying to take a step back and be like, I hear a lot of people giving love to Child's Play 2. And I think that's very well deserved. But I do know there's a huge contingent out there that loves Bride of Chucky, even though it's not necessarily my cup of tea there. So yeah. Antona says those are definitely fan favorites. Are they the 2 like definitive? I need to know. I'll put it up for a vote for you guys. Hot take, I like found footage horror, even some of the many questionable titles on Tubi. I wish I liked found footage movies more. I have a tough time with them. I really do. Child's Play 1 and 2, says Chester. I really like Seed and Cult. Apparently, so many people hate them. Yeah, Cult is Cult the last one that they did. I liked Curse. I think it was Curse, right? 2 and Bride would be the go-to choices. There you go. Yeah, unfortunately, doesn't matter with public domain. You still can't show the movies because I think unless I'm broadcasting, like unless I'm hooking up my Blu-ray player to my computer, if I'm taking it from any other website, YouTube will shut it down. Unfortunately, I've tried that before. I thought I could get away with it because we were doing public domain movies and they shut us down multiple times. Sucks. It doesn't make sense to me, but I guess in a way it does because you are pulling it from someone's website. Let's see here. Pulp Fiction is great. That's right. Anyone in here a fellow fan of the found footage series Horror in the High Desert? I've heard of these movies, Jay, but I have not seen them. I have not seen them. I don't know. I don't know if that's a hot take, but now I'm curious about these. Guys, what do you think? Horror in the High Desert? What do you think? Jackie is also my favorite Quentin Tarantino still. All right. Ice Cube or Ludacris? Okay. Ice-T. Eminem. I take Gimme Them Hotcakes. Davey, the key to watching It Follows is to think of it as having nightmare logic. Not everything makes sense, and it's effective for that. A keen eye will notice strange, purposeful juxtapositions. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. So, like, literally, like you're in a nightmare. I have a lot of those. I have a lot of nightmares. ICP, make Michael a jungle. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Thank you so much, Erica. You're too sweet. Erica dropping the $2 super chat. Guys, only 6 minutes left, and we've only got 2. It looks like I might be shutting down the stream for the evening. But what? We've been going for about an hour and a half. We've gotten some good hot takes in here. Director himself said it's nightmare logic. Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah, no, I gotcha. I still think that the walking sim movies, there is something about like whenever a genre kind of takes off like that, and there's a lot of those movies, at some point it does just you start to get like face blindness to them a little bit, you know, and they start to kind of blur together. I mean, I will give It Follows a shot for sure. I should certainly watch it because I know a lot of people really love it. And divisive movies, I'm down to watch a divisive movie and see how it goes for sure. Yeah, let's see here. J Beach says it's similar to the real case of the YouTuber Kenny Veach who disappeared in the Nevada desert looking for the M Cave near Area 51. I know nothing about that story, so maybe I should check out that anthology series. It Follows is a great slow burn. I think you'll enjoy it. All right. Any fans of I Saw the TV Glow? Really like that one. That one looked like really pretentious. I didn't watch it. I heard it was kind of up its own ass, but I didn't watch it. Maybe I should give that one a shot. You guys got all the recommends here. Hot take, they should have killed Gale in Scream 5 instead of Dewey. Agree. Maybe it is a hot take, but I agree. Yes. Yeah, I thought Gale did die. Oh, no, 6. In 6. I thought she did die in 6. I'm like, wait, she's fucking alive? Yeah, I mean, you got stabbed right in the chest. Everything's okay? Huh. Interesting. I thought she was dead. I thought she would die for sure. Thought Mindy would die too. Stabbed right in the stomach. Everything's fine. She's like running by the end of the movie. She's like jogging up to people to give them hugs. Ugh. Chad was stabbed 57,000 times in Scream 6. It's a friggin' mess. Enjoyed it too, Matt. Saw the TV Glow. I Saw the TV Glow. Gorgeous, if anything. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it did have a certain look that was very, like, a very striking look for sure. It just seemed to be one of those movies where I was like, oh, shoot, this is like it seems very pretentious. I just got that vibe. Like, this is something that, like, indie rockers from the early 2000s would really love. Hollywood Lido says, yes, it would have given Sydney more of a reason to return to Woodsboro because she'd know Dewey was distraught and needed someone to help him end the killer. Yeah, getting rid of Dewey, regardless, was a big misstep. Yes. Nobody was dying in Scream 6. Yeah. And what's really funny is in Scream 5, they kind of throw shade towards Scream 4 when Mindy's giving her... Oh, no, not Mindy. When Mikey Madison's character, whatever the hell her name was, is like, we're not some like lame-ass cash grab sequel. We actually kill the legacy characters. And I'm like, y'all talking shit about Scream 4, which is so far superior to what is on screen in front of me right now. And then in Scream 6, they completely go all the way back. They don't kill any of the legacy characters. Ugh. The killer reveal in Scream 6 is, ugh. Like, who did it worse? Hard Eyes or Scream 6 with the killer reveal? I really enjoyed We're All Going to the World's Fair also, so I was in that boat already. Oh, I've never heard of that one. It actually wasn't pretentious. I thought it would be too. Oh, shit, man. Whoever cut that trailer together sure did keep me away from that movie. Fire those people. Oh my goodness. Not pretentious. I thought it was pretty heartfelt. All right. Holy cow, we got Happy Sanjo's become a brand new YouTube channel member. Welcome on back to membership. Koi, great to see you, bud. It comes from a very personal, sincere place. All right, well, I'll have to check that one out. I will have to check it out for sure. Everyone's saying what's up to Happy. Love to see it. Lido, fucking Scream 5 and 6. They're balls. I couldn't believe they treated the West character like that way. I was pissed. Oh, yeah, like a CG knife going through his neck or whatever. They love the CG knives in Scream 5. The Kyle Gallner kill is like, you might as well put that knife in hot butter and not actual flesh. It just looks like, it seriously looks like this. Like no resistance at all. It's terrible. Hey, no worries, Koi. I really do appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the support you've given the channel since from the very beginning, man. Thank you so much. World's Fair was the first movie from the director of okay. So he does have these long drawn out movie titles. That's maybe where some of the pretentiousness is coming from, or my perceived pretentiousness. The trailer, though, looked like, oh shoot, this movie is definitely not made for old ass people like me, is kind of what it looked like, just to me, you know. But I guess I gotta check them out. Let's see here. All right, guys, it looks like the goal ended. I really appreciate Lido and Erica for dropping the each dropping a $2 super chat there. But it looks like we won't be going for another hour, and it looks like I will be going for a night swim. And you know, it kind of comes at a perfect time because I'm getting rumbly in my tumbly. So I feel like I'm gonna go have a snack and yeah, jump in the pool and enjoy. Gosh, what is it? It's 95 degrees out right now, guys. So I bet the pool feels friggin' great right now. So yeah, I will be back again tomorrow night. I love it, Daily Ghost. I want you to go swimming, so no money. Yep, there we go. Well, I certainly do appreciate the super chats from from Lido and from Erica. Thank you guys so much. And then really appreciate Happy joining channel membership yet again. You are awesome. Thank you so much, Koi. You guys are incredible. I will be back tomorrow night with yet another late night live stream. Let's see what we'll do. Maybe we will do a little watch party or something fun like that. So I'll think about some things. Tonight, guys, I am gonna put up a poll for you guys to vote on the Child's Play movies. Remember, August 20th, Cody Leach is gonna be hopping on the channel with myself and Mark from Tales from the Shelf. We're going to do a Child's Play versus battle, much like the versus battle we did for Alien and Aliens, and the final chapter versus Jason Lives, where Vincent DeSanti joined us. So we're continuing that series. We're bringing on another guest. We're going to break down each category. Each one of us is going to award one of the categories, or each one of the categories to the movie as that movie is the winner of that category. You guys in the chat are going to vote as well on every single category, and then we're going to tally up the points and find out which Child's Play movie is truly the best one. So we're looking for fan favorites. I think it's 2 and Bride of Chucky, but I'm going to put it up as a vote for you guys, or as a poll for you guys to participate. So keep an eye out for that. Participate in the poll. And that'll just make sure that you guys are even more invested and involved with what we do here on the channel. So yeah, other than that, I am going to hop on in the pool and I will hang out with you guys here tomorrow night. So thank you so much to our channel members, our Patreon members. Eli Cortez, I see you here jumping in at the last minute. I'm so sorry, bud. I am just about to head out. But we love Eli here, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods as well. Have a great rest of your night. Also, Lido, you guys are amazing. Yeah, shout out to the Patreon members, to the channel members, and to our amazing Death Squad mods. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for keeping for holding down the fort and keeping everything solid here. And yeah, guys, I guess other than that, all I've got for you is until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.